Hello, and here I am,
Hello.
sat face to face with Sophia Miles. Really nice to see you again,
You too. You
in slightly
too.
different circumstances this time. But but this week it's been all about online content for you, hasn't it? Because
Yeah,
yesterday, because we're doing this on Thursday, so yesterday, Wednesday night, you did your first Doctor Who tweet along. How did that go?
I did indeed, and we were trending at #1 on Twitter, which is incredible. I'm not entirely sure what trending means because I'm quite old. I'm 40 now, but I know it's something good. Do you know what it means?
Not really. I think it means lots of people are watching.
Good. Well, I'm glad they did. Yeah, it was sort of frantic for me because I was getting so many tweets, to my feed, and literally they were kind of going dum 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 dum, and I don't know. After all, I don't know. There must have been thousands and thousands, and yeah, it was really good fun. And I hadn't seen the episode since we made it actually, so it was a nice what's the word, nostalgic trip down memory lane for me.
So, having not seen it in all that time, did that give you a different perspective watching it now? Could you be more? I mean, could you stand back more and watch it?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you a secret. So when I read the script, I couldn't quite work out what was going on and what it was all about. And then I saw the episode and I still couldn't quite work out what it was about and what was going on. And last night, I still couldn't work out what entirely was going wrong. I think I get it, kind of get it. And doing the prequel slash sequel, is it one of those things that Moffat, that Stephen wrote? It makes sense to me now. I do understand it now. And I felt really sorry for her suddenly becoming this just consciousness drifting around in space on her own, on a ship. What did you think?
The mini episode,
Yeah.
I've got to admit, it was under 2.5 minutes long, and it was still poignant and moving. I thought it was really punchy. It was great.
Oh, good. Well, I just sort of read it as if I remember reading that beautiful, beautiful letter in the episode, the sort of goodbye, where are you letter. And I just thought, well, maybe if I do it like that, and I could remember who she was and how she felt to me inside as a character, and so I did it like that. And yeah, I think it had a good response. People seemed to like it, but people also said they cried again. So that was a bit sad.
So how did the mini episode come about? Did Stephen Moffat contact you directly?
Yeah, so first of all, I heard from Emily, the girl or the lady who organised the whole thing, saying she told me, oh, Stephen's going to be involved as well. So I thought, well, that's great, because we text from time to time. We've kept in touch. And so anyway, I texted him and said, what's this deal? What's going on? And he said, oh, well, I'm going to write something. I haven't had time to write it yet, but I will write it and then I'll send it to you. So a few days later, he sent it to me on a text message, and I printed it out on my computer. And luckily, my partner has a professional microphone because he plays a lot of Fender guitars, so he's got loads of good equipment. And sat up in the attic here, where I'm sitting now, and on my own, and recorded it. And I did eventually get it all in one take, because I think that would be the most special and the most poignant. It took me a while because it was about 2 pages of dialogue. So yeah, got it finally, and then sent it to Stephen and Emily, and then Emily cut it all together, and with the lovely video stuff that they did. And that was it really. And then I rang Stephen again and said, look, I'm a bit nervous about this tweet along. What the hell is this about? And he explained, and yeah, and then we did it, and it was great fun. So it's all just been a really joyous occasion, and it's lovely, I think, because people were so sad when the episode went out initially and kind of didn't know what would become of the whole thing, and it's nice to then add another bit to the story, I think. Yeah, so I think we did a good job all round.
So you did the episode itself, you've done the prequel, sequel. When's the Madame de Pompadour spin-off series coming along?
Pompadour, she's called Pompadour.
Oh, Pompadour.
Madame de Pompadour, I love it. Well, I don't know, you see, I'm not in control of any of that. I wish I was, but that would be up to well, numerous people, I suppose. Stephen, and I don't know whoever's running the show now. Although I have to say, I do think, a bit like with a rock band, right? It's best to go out with a bang. You don't want to suddenly like become a shit group and then it all falls apart. And I kind of feel like that in a way was one of the hit, or maybe, well, let's say the hit song of Doctor Who, that's, you know, the best thing that's ever become a Doctor Who. And so therefore I think it kind of just stands alone, and maybe it would be pushing it to try and do anything else. But you know, it would be fun. Like if I could come back into the show in some form, I think that would be fabulous. But like I said, sadly, it's not in my control. But if you can make it happen, you know, give me a call. That'd be great.
Yeah, like I've got any control over anything like that. Actually, an interesting perspective would be, because of course it was quite untraditional in the fact that it was a romance. You did a 45-minute romance movie, really. And of course, meeting the Doctor now would be a very different experience, as it's Jodie Whittaker.
Yeah, so they could do like a lesbian, you know, I don't know if they've done lesbians on Doctor Who, but that would be great. Yeah. Imagine that.
Oh, we very dangerous liaison, wouldn't it? Indeed.
Uh-huh.
So,
yeah.
the tweet along. There you are. You're watching the episode again. Did it bring back any forgotten memories?
Well, you know, just as a whole, because it was how many years ago? 13 years? Because it's went out, 2005-ish? So that's a while ago, but it did. I mean, I have such fond memories of making that show. And I think, you know, I think it only took about 9 days to film. And I had absolutely no idea at the time that it was going to go down in history as this, you know, prolific, lovely episode that everyone adored. But I just remember loving it, loving working with David, loving, you know, Billy, Noel. I've stayed great friends with Noel. In fact, we grew up in the same area. So we have so much in common, and he's just amazing. He's become this, you know, massive producer in his own right now. And yeah, and it was just lovely. I grew up in Wales, well, half Wales, half in England, because my grandparents are Welsh. So going back to Cardiff, and in fact we shot in one of the houses, it was sort of grand houses called Tredegar House in Wales, and I used to go and play in the playground there when I was a kid. So the whole thing was just beautiful. And I went to visit my grandparents' grave because they're, you know, 20 minutes away near Newport. And yeah, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. So
for the 9 days you were shooting, you decamped to Cardiff rather than sort of commute in?
Oh, I lived there. I was there for, we stayed in, is that what you mean? Yeah, I stayed in a hotel. Yeah.
And what would you say, watching the episode again, were the highlights of that episode? What do you think were the greatest hits of that particular episode? What did you enjoy?
The snog. Of course. Of course. That was like, and also knowing that it was a huge deal. I mean, people had said to me, no one's ever kissed the Doctor, you know, this is massive. And so I just thought, right then, well, I'm going to go for it. So that was good. Knowing that, you know, people were going to go crazy over that. I like doing that bit. I loved the big speech when she comes in at the end and all the droids are in that massive room before he comes through the mirror on the horse. I had that big kind of, you know, calm down, guys. This is ridiculous. We're French. We've got to behave. I like doing that. What else? Well, just for me, getting to see the sets, and not just the sets that we were working on, but like I saw the TARDIS and I met a Dalek, and you know, that was nice.
So were you quite familiar with Doctor Who beforehand? Had you watched it as a child, or?
No, I mean, as a child, I remember not liking it because there were Daleks in it. So I don't think I watched it. You know, if it was on, I would say, turn it off, Mummy, I don't like this. I mean, everyone, look, if you're British and you don't know about Doctor Who, then you've got serious issues, right? So, yeah, but I wasn't a fan. I'd never really seen it. And I was excited though. I thought it was cool that they brought it back, and people seemed to be loving it. So that was, you know, that was nice.
And of course, now we're talking about this, and the show's been back on air for 15 years or more. But you were in very early on in the second series, so it was still fairly new, wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, again, I hadn't followed it, you know, acutely, so I didn't really know. I knew that they'd done one with a different Doctor, with Christopher Eccleston, and I knew that David was the new one. But other than that, yeah, I think I knew that it was quite new. But the other thing, no, there's a cool thing. I did an audio book for Big Finish with Tom Baker. So I've met Tom Baker, which I believe is a very cool thing to have done. He was a lovely guy, batshit crazy, but really, really nice.
So any ambitions, particularly at the moment in lockdown, audio could be the way forward. Have you got any other projects?
Indeed, no, that would be great. I think I have a contact for the Big Finish people. Well, it'd be lovely. Tell them to contact me, and then we could do a Pompadour Big Finish. That would be cool.
There we go. There's the spin-off.
Yeah, that would be great. But ambitions for Doctor Who ambitions, you mean, or life ambitions for lockdown?
Oh, life ambitions for lockdown.
Yeah, life ambitions for lockdown, to get fit. So because you're allowed to do exercise, right? And to share with you the fact that I've never in my life done exercise. I loathe it. I've, been completely against it because it's hard work, right? But what I want to do is get fit for the first time. And I have a little Italian greyhound. In fact, where is he? Can you see? Wait a minute. Justin, where are you? Oh, can you see?
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah. He's having a snooze because we actually went running together. He's like a bullet. He can run faster than the speed of light. So I take him with me, and yeah, we're getting fit together. He's, massively fast, obviously, because he's greyhound / whippet. So yeah, that's it. To get fit during lockdown is my ambition.
It's funny that you should mention that he was there, because while you were talking at the beginning, I could see some movement under the duvet behind you. I thought any minute a child's going to pop up. I didn't realise the dog hidden in there.
Yeah, no, it's the dog. He watched the episode as well, actually, when I was shooting my videos, because I shot video footage of me watching it yesterday. And he was up on the couch. He wasn't interested in it at all, though. Didn't want to watch.
Well, for now, I'm going to say goodbye, but we will be back later with more chat about your career and the girl in the fireplace. So thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.